Hello to everybody, to all the wonderful teachers at the 13th Pan-European Conference on Digital Education. The main topic today is a growth mindset, and I am really happy that all the wonderful teachers will share their experience with different growth mindset teaching strategies with us. Welcome all of you. We already have 150 participants with us. Hello, please give us a plus into the comments, if you already use different growth mind strategies in your everyday teaching practice. So give us a plus yeah. Also, today is Earth Day, so happy Earth Day to all of you. Our Mother Nature has a celebration today. We will start exactly at 3 o'clock with the formal part of the conference with 6 different presentations on growth mindset. But first, and the most important thing is that I would like to introduce you all the presenters. So here with me, the first one is dear teacher Kristina Ločniškar from Slovenia. Welcome, and just tell us about yourself. And we need your microphone on. It works better usually.
Yeah, thank you, Blanca. As she already said, my name is Kristina. I'm a primary teacher. I come from Slovenia, and I have around 20 years of practice in teaching in primary school. Well, I mostly teach children aged between 6 and 8 years old. So these are elementary studies. I have a feeling that every school year is a new start for me because I like to implement new techniques and new strategies according to students' needs. Well, that's from me.
Wow, so no rest for Kristina.
Yes.
Okay, and next with me is Jasminka. Welcome, Jasminka.
Hi, I'm coming from Croatia. I'm an ICT teacher at primary school Petrijanec. And last Friday, I graduated at Radboud University in Netherlands on a program for gifted education. Today, I'm going to present you one small part of that program.
Of your work, yeah. Thank you. Looking forward. Fernando, welcome.
Hello, I'm Fernando. I'm a teacher and an engineer in electronics and computer science, and I work as an IT teacher in Kaunas in Lithuania. I teach IT, and also I teach robotics to first and second graders, and also to sixth graders. And I will today tell about how to implement a growth mindset through robotics activities. Thank you.
I'm looking forward, really. And yes, Nikolai is saying in the comments, I'm happy, so happy to see people from all Europe, and I can share your happiness, and I'm also very proud that we are learning together. Denisa, hi, welcome. Also, can you tell us a bit about yourself and switch on the microphone?
Hello again, and it's very happy day, despite it's the 13th. and we're going to make it even happier, or at least I hope so, until the end of this conference. I teach Romanian language, communication, grammar, and literature in Romania. And I've been doing this for the last 20 years, and I intend to keep doing it. And the last activities were quite interesting from my students' point of view. So I thought I could share them with you. So I hope you'll find some interesting ideas in my next presentation. And I wish you a happy day and enjoy the conference.
I'm sure we will find a lot of interesting things from you. Thank you. And Tanya, welcome.
Hello, my name is Tanya, and I'm also a colleague of Christina and Helena, who will be presenters today. And I'm an English teacher at primary school at Maria Vera, Slovenia. And I teach older students aged between 12 and 14. And I am also enthusiastic to do something more than just teaching. And I'm trying to find the ways how to do something else more interesting, more enthusiastic to do with my children, with students.
Thank you very much. And now we are going from Slovenia to Reunion Island. Good day, Stephanie. Okay, okay, just you need a microphone. Turn on the microphone.
Hello, everybody. I'm teacher of French as a foreign language, and I work at Tamarin. Tamarin is a middle school, and I am also the European and international referent of the school.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And now we are going to your co-worker, Maud.
Hello, I'm Maud. I work in the same middle school than Stephanie. I'm arts teacher and especially music, but I've got projects in clown and theater projects too. And I'm really happy to be here with you. And next year, I had the chance to be in Slovenia with a group of students, and we share 1 week with students from Romania, Sweden, Reunion Island, and Slovenia. And it was really a nice moment.
Exactly. Yeah, that was our first project together on growth mindset. And now we are already in the second one. And thanks to that project, which is called Mindset Go 2.0, we are also here today because of that project. The collage, so the school from Reunion, I'm not really good in French, so collage le Tamarin, yes, correct, is a partner in that project, and also the primary school Maria Vera is another school that is in that really inspiring partnership in which we develop together different growth mindset teaching strategies. I'm really proud that you are presenting today also, and that also other schools just joined us. Okay, Helena, a good day to you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. So I'm also a young learners teacher for English. I'm also a primary school teacher, but currently I just teach English to young learners at the school that I teach at with Christina and Tanya.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So that's those are our presenters. And we will start with the conference now. I will just share with you our agenda. So I will try screen sharing. So the main topic of today's conference is growth mindset. as you know. So what is a growth mindset? There are two attitudes in our heads and in our hearts that are really important for our learning and success in life. So the first one is, no matter how much in just a second, I have to go at the beginning of the presentation. Okay, now it will work better. Right. So the first sentence that we have in our head and in our heart is, so no matter how much intelligence you have, you can always change it a good deal. So think about yourself. What is your attitude towards this statement? And the second one is, you can learn new things, but you cannot really change your basic level of intelligence. Whether the first one is more of a growth mindset, the second one is more of a fixed mindset. And in teaching, we of course promote the growth mindset. And here you can see how one group of students from Spain, that is already also included into our project, just show in a picture how they see the growth mindset. So they see it as a garden in our head. So as a garden, that our brains are garden, and that we can actually cultivate different things in our heads. And I believe this is a really nice representation of a growth mindset. So when we cultivate a growth mindset spirit in a classroom, we help students to develop. We help them to learn more effectively, more efficiently, and by fostering a growth mindset, students are taught to embrace challenges with open arms, and failure is viewed as a learning experience, right? So we don't afraid failures, but we embrace them. Our agenda today is the following. The first presentation will be from Slovenia. So the team of 3 teachers, Kristina, Tanja, and Helena, will show us a practical use of the growth mindset strategies in primary schools. Then the second presentation will be by Fernando, who will show us developing growth mindset through robotics activities. And then Denisa will follow as a third presentation, growth mindset, a key asset to be discovered in narrative texts. And then we have Jasminko with growth mindset and creativity development, followed by Elena on resilience in secondary school, and in the end, by Stephanie and Maud from Reunion, the Flame of Equality. That is one project that they made, which is in really spirit of a growth mindset. So I believe we will enjoy it together. I'm already looking forward. But that's not all. So as you know, those of you who read our blog, we are already also connecting your ideas about growth mindset. And we will check, this is on Mentimeter and also on Padlet. We received so many different presentations. I will show them to you later, and I will also show to you later the Mentimeter results. But now I'm really impatient to hear all the presentations, so I will give my word to the team of 3 teachers from Slovenia, that they start with their presentation, and after their presentation I will show you the results from the Mentimeter, so you still have the opportunity to participate in it. I will provide the link into the comments. Also, please do ask questions, because with questions we learn, and I'm sure that teachers will happily provide their answers to all your questions. Okay, so Christina, Tanya, and Helena, the floor is yours now.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, so thank you for joining us and welcome to our presentation. So first of all, I would like to tell you something about our school. So Maria Vera Primary School is the home of 563 students and 79 members of staff. Students enter our community at the age of 6 and then leave it in 9th grade at the age of 14. The primary school we teach at is located in the middle of a settlement of apartment blocks, and the school district also includes several apartment blocks neighborhoods. Those neighborhoods are often populated by migrants from the southern Balkan countries like Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, Albania, Montenegro, Macedonia. So we have a very high migration trend, and this ensures that we have children from very different countries, foreign countries, as well as Slovenian national students. And that means we have a lot of languages that are present in our school. The students that join our school present a special challenge for the teachers. The students often come from socioeconomic backgrounds that are less stimulating for learning, which also represents a very special challenge. So we entered the KA2 Erasmus Plus project, Mindset Go 2.0 in 2020. We joined the project with partner schools and teacher trainers from Sweden, Slovenia, Spain, Romania, and the Reunion Island. We started working on the project with a clear goal of helping our teachers and students develop the belief that they can reach higher goals. So to achieve this, we started creating a very specific set of workshops that teach about brain activity, the malleability of the brain, and the power of the mindset. As we are new to the project, it was very important to us that we were able to listen to what others were saying. So other schools that have more experience, that were in the project before us, and that we were able to ask questions about the things that we were unsure of. And this meant that with all this, we ensured that we were on the right track. All the partners offer us support. They share their ideas with us, and we share our ideas with them. And they also offer us support and feedback. So this means we are trying to develop a growth mindset. At our school, we have a team of teachers, and these teachers are the base of the project. The team of teachers prepares informational material for the teachers, as well as workshop materials for the teachers to implement them in their class. We also prepare materials for the workshops for the students that are in middle school. The material is then distributed to the teachers via email, and whoever wants can use the material in class. We tried to find a way to make it easier for the teachers to incorporate whatever we are doing, whatever the workshop is about, so that they can incorporate it into their curriculums. There's also a student body council at our school and a representative from each class. So we're talking about students that go to middle school. So that would be like students from grade 6 to grade 9. They have like a student body council, and this student body council meets up. We present them with the material. They go through the workshop, and then the students are the ones that lead the workshop for their classmates. This means that they are very actively involved in the development of growth mindset themselves. So that would be all from me. And Tanya.
The microphone, Tanya.
Thank you. Yes. Hello, and I would like you to show our steps, how we started with our project. So the first thing was we would like to know get some information from our teachers. So if and to what extent do our teachers already use the growth mindset approach? So our group prepared a questionnaire for the teachers. So the teachers reflected upon their work. So they focused on their teaching strategies, on their approaches, and thus our team got some information that led us into the things that we want to do. So according to this given information about teaching approaches and their styles, we set our objectives for further activities. So this was our first step. The next step was to set monthly activities. So our first month was in January. So we started with this, with the giving the information in January. So this was more informative month. So we informed student class representatives about the project and asked them to give some more basic information about the project to their classmates in order to motivate them so that they would be actively present in the project. So we started, we did the competition, the logo competition. So the students thought about what is a mindset, what is a growth mindset, and you can see some pictures, some that our students produced. So this was something to do on the students' part, but on the other hand, the project was also presented to other teachers at the staff conference, where some basic information about the project and the monthly workshops were given. So this was our starting point, let's say, and the first real workshop started in March, February-March. So the title, obviously, was the Fixed and Growth Mindset. And this was actually for us the perfect timing to implement this welcome workshop to the students, as the students came back to school after 4 months of long distance learning. So students were extremely motivated and encouraged to do the workshops because they also work with their peers. So they were presented by teachers with different mindsets, with fixed and growth mindset, and they were given some more general information and examples to recognize the difference between the two mindsets. So this was our first workshop and the first part of this workshop. In the second part, the students set their own personal goals. So they found their own personal goals. So they were asked to draw a picture of brain and to reflect upon the obstacles that might discourage them to reach their goal. So they drew this mind, and they thought about their goals, they thought about their obstacles, and of course how to surpass them and transform them into their opportunities. Of course, the teachers reminded them that they might not succeed in reaching their goals immediately, or they might not surpass their obstacles straight away, but nevertheless, it is their effort, that is their grit and persistence that matter. So the aim of this first workshop for students was to understand the difference between the two mindsets. I must say that I work with secondary students, so middle school students, and this was our workshop. So Christina will present the same workshop, but for younger students. Yes? So Christina?
Thank you, Tanya. Well, first of all, I would like to share my personal motivation, why I'm doing this in the class, because it's very important that you know why you do that. So for me, in the last few years, I noticed that the children have a great motivation for learning when they come to school at the age of 6. But later, at the age of 10 and further on, they are not so enthusiastic anymore. And I would like to equip my young students with skills how to overcome negative attitude and how to achieve their goals through hard work. So as Tanya already said, she presented you the first workshop for the older students, and you will get some ideas how I do that in the lower classes. Well, my role is to test new approaches in the elementary classes, and then I prepare lessons for my colleagues, so lesson plans and materials, how to use that in their classes. And I always try to link different subjects because I think this is very important. So here is the first workshop. It was meant to be like introduction of the growth mindset. So we had a positive affirmation that everyone can learn, which is very, very important. And first we prepared a video, which you can see here in the right lower corner. It's in Slovenian language, so we are not presenting you today this video. And we gave students hints on how to become successful. In this video, we first explained what are our thoughts, because it is very important for young students to know what actually is a thought. Then we showed the power of positive or negative thoughts. Well, we explained the link between a positive mindset and school success. The next step was to show students how to transform negative thoughts into positive ones. And at the end, we emphasized the importance of perseverance and effort. We explained that even through some examples of athletes. And finally, the students were asked to draw or write their mental representation of growth mindset and how would they transform negative thoughts into positive. So we gave them some negative thoughts like, I won't succeed. And then we encouraged them to transform that in like, I will try hard and then I will succeed. And well, another example, I have bad grades and I'm not clever enough. Well, we try to help them to transform that into, I haven't learned something yet. And we think it's very important to use this word yet, because that means that they have an opportunity to learn. All these sentences that we produced are now used every day when we start a school day as positive affirmations. So we repeat them every day to come into our minds and to be in our minds. So now we will show you a little video of our students that are explaining what they learned from our first workshop. So let's listen.
We are in third grade, where the students participated in the first growth mindset workshop that we prepared for them. The students are going to share their thoughts and what they learned during this workshop.
Da s prožnimi misli najdeš idejo, kaj bi rad napisal, naprimer upam, da bom dobil dobro oceno 5.
Super. Ana, kaj se pa ti spomniš te delavnice?
Da smo se pogovarjali, kako si lahko zaupaš.
Super! Mateja, kaj pa je tebi najbolj ostalo v spominu?
Ker smo s prijateljico ful dobre ideje imela.
Pa ste bili v delavnici dobre volje, slabe volje, ja? A ste bi bili tudi kakšne ideje, kako bi se bila najbolj učili?
Ja.
Tudi,
a ne pa, da ti še to ne gre, pa da si pa še
odlično.
Da ti bo šlo.
Hvala lepa. Kdo z nami kaj delil? Ana bi še nekaj delila.
Da tudi, če odnehaš, lahko naprej nadaljuješ, ker da takoj učiš.
Bravo, hvala lepa.
Christina?
Yes, thank you. So those positive affirmations are put on the blackboard in the classroom so the students can see them every day, they can repeat them, they can discuss about it, and they're always there. So then let's go on to the second workshop. The second workshop was meant to be introduction of the brain, and it had a name, Meet My Brain. At this workshop, different parts of the brain and their function were presented to students through modeling and a lot of action. I first asked my students to think of a time when they learned something new, and then I encouraged them to explain what steps did they take to learn new things. And then I asked them to think of another situation when they failed at something and how they felt about that, yeah? And then I explained them that their brain is actually responsible for all that, and their brain is made of different parts like cerebrum, cerebellum, prefrontal cortex, brainstem, hippocampus, and amygdala. Well, as I already told you, I teach younger students, so they are around 7 and 8 years old, and I was really very skeptical about explaining parts of the brain to young students, but they surprised me with how fast they knew the names, and more important, they knew the importance of the specific part. And as an example, I can tell you a true story. The next day when we had a math, and one of my students was really angry because he couldn't find the correct result of the calculation, the other came to me and he whispered, "It's amygdala, isn't it?" So I was really surprised by that. And now I see it's really important that we tell them because they can understand those things. Well, so during the second workshop, I divided groups into small groups, and then they were modeling the brain out of the dough, as you can see on the first picture. They were given instructions on how to model a specific part and where to place it on this paper. For each part, we made an activity. For example, I asked them to do 5 jumping jacks, and this activity is connected with cerebellum. I explained that this is the important part for moving and very important for controlling our muscles. It is located at the back of our head, and it's important for, let's say, riding a bike, running, catching a ball, etc. And I repeated this with every part of the brain, a little action and then a little explanation according to their age. So when they finished modeling, they labeled the parts and they draw pictures. And as you can see, the pictures were about to present how they use different parts of the brain. For example, cerebellum, for example, they draw a bike. And Helena, can you please show the video how this looked in the classroom?
Hipocampus.
Напо напиши. Lina, ti lahko zraven razložiš, zakaj je hipokampus pomemben? Ja, kaj misliš s tem za pot? Hvala. Kaj boš pa ti napisal? Amigdala. Kje je amigdala? Da ne pokažeš? Okay. Thank you, Helena. Students really loved modeling because they like to do things with their hands and to be very active. And afterwards, they presented their work to each other. The models are now displayed in our classroom, and they remind us of our brain. So these are some of the ideas how you can start, because I think the start is the hardest thing. You have to know what to do at the start. Well, that's from me.
Wow. Thank you very much. Yes, I agree with you. The hardest thing is actually to start. When you start, you just go in love with the growth mindset, and then you cannot stop. So congratulations. And I also like that you presented us different strategies for different ages. That's really, really great. So thank you very much. I didn't see any questions yet. No, they are just congratulations. So Dana is saying congratulations, it's very interesting. Okay, then I will show the results of the Mentimeter, and maybe if you have some questions in the meanwhile, you can still ask, and we will answer them later. Okay, thank you for your inspiring thoughts. Okay, let's see as the Mentimeter results. I will share my screen. It's so good to see that you shared your thoughts and ideas about the growth mindset with us. So here is the quote. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. So we need to be really persistent in order to succeed. Right. So what was the first question? Just a second. Right. So what do you think about intelligence? Here you can see the results. So the first one is a statement about the growth mindset, and you agree on average 4 by 4.5. So no matter how much intelligence you have, you can always change it a good deal. And then the second is the fixed mindset statement. And the average here is 3. So some of you agree, some of you don't agree with this statement. You can learn new things, but you cannot really change your basic level of intelligence. Yes, so already 277 participants gave your ideas. Then the next one that we have, the next questions is, what are the synonyms of growth mindset? And here you can see open to opportunities, open mindset, then permanently seeking for new knowledge, mental state, increasing intelligence, embracing mistakes. All those are the synonyms that you see as for growth mindset. Really good. So don't worry, I am not reading everything, but I will upload this presentation also on the Pan-European Facebook group, so you will have access to it and you can look at it anytime. Then let's see the next answers. So which one reflects a growth mindset? Which feedback to student? And you agree that, wow, you really worked hard on this. This one reflects a growth mindset. Then next statement is the same task. Which one reflects a growth mindset? You almost all agree that I know this is easy for you, but let's try something more challenges to help grow your brain. Yeah. So we don't put labels on our students, but we just provide a feedback about their process. Another one, why don't we try a different strategy? You agree that this one is a growth mindset and the second one is not. So maybe you are just not very good at this. We all have some weaknesses. So this is a fixed mindset, more or less. Then you also wrote about 2 greatest growth mind challenges for you that you have. And you say that sometimes it's not easy to keep the faith in our power to improve. I agree. There are many obstacles. Then you wrote about growth-oriented feedback tools that do you use in your practice. Here are many of you, so you will be able to check them later. You also wrote about best strategies to cultivate a growth mindset in a classroom. Good, thank you very much. Which growth mindset strategies are not so effective? And you say that memory effort testing, for instance, is not so effective. For some of you, self-evaluation. Some of you say that grades are not so effective because they put labels into the students. And then you gave teachers many advices how to go into cultivating a growth mindset in their classroom. And here again is a short survey about different growth mindset practices in your classroom. You can see the results here. Okay, so I will put this presentation probably tomorrow morning on the Pan-European group because probably still some answers will come. Right, so now we move next to the next presentation. I will stop sharing the screen and welcome Fernando. Fernando is our next. Where he is? Here.
Yes,
okay. Yes. Fernando prepared for us a really nice case of developing a growth mindset through robotics activities. And I was really enthusiastic because he wrote about the effort, so about the learning process and not about the end results. Thank you very much, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Blanca. I would like first to thank you for this opportunity to share my experience as a teacher, but also I want to thank for all these activities during the whole year of this pandemic. I've been attending these conferences for some months, and I think it's a really, really good job and work for everything, for everybody here, and to feel this solidarity among teachers from all Europe and maybe other countries. So I will now share my screen. Let's see if you can see my, okay. Maybe you see now?
I'm looking at it, yes.
Yes, okay, thank you. So I'm an engineer, I'm a teacher, and I have to say that my passions are teaching and also everything with buttons, with circuits, with electronics, computers, wheels, mechanics, and so on. So all this come together in my robotic lessons. I teach in Kauno Simono Daukanto Progymnasia in Lithuania. This is elementary school from 1st to 8th grade. We have about 900 students. And I'm teaching robotics in 1st and 2nd grade and also in the 6th grade. As my colleagues said in the presentation before this, I feel the same, that the students in the 1st and 2nd grade, they want to try everything. They are very motivated. And when they come to the 6th grade is everything a little bit more difficult. Maybe because in education we are sometimes focusing too much in the results. So what I like a lot about robotics is that students have to solve very complicated problems, but they have to integrate the different knowledge that they have from mathematics, physics, also to coding, programming, engineering, designing new solutions. So they have to put all this together, and it's not a big problem if you are better in mathematics or in another subject, because you need to use all this knowledge. And in that way, by this integration, they can achieve such skills like creativity, computational thinking, active learning, critical thinking, making decisions during the process, troubleshooting, because many times you don't get the things at the first attempt, and persistence. That's a very good thing, that in robotics, you never get it the first time that you try. Now, I used to say to my students, when it doesn't work, then we start. We start from that we make something, and it doesn't work. That's the beginning of robotics. And I think that this environment is very good to make this, to encourage a growth mindset. So I prepare my lessons. They are about 90 minutes, like a project. So it's project-based learning. When there is a presentation about a real problem, we try to join the project with real situations. Students have to analyze, to check the situation, the specifications, what they have to do. Then we make a discussion. They have to sketch or draw a solution to discuss among them, and also to discuss with the teacher, so that we can find possible obstacles and problems to get to a good robot. They build a prototype, the programming, the robot. They have to test and then to make corrections. So during this process, we focus on the process. I mean, like Carol Wells said, celebrate trying. In robotics, you have to try. You have to try one time and another time. You have to check. You have to think what is not working. You have to learn from other, and to find inspiration also in the success of others. Sometimes the students say, but teacher, they are looking at my solution. I say, that's good. That's good. I mean, we learn from others. So, and then the question would be, and is it successful? I would say not always. Sometimes I find difficult to motivate students to solve complicated problems. So that's a very good opportunity for me, like a teacher, to focus on the process of teaching, and also to try to help my students to think, what is stopping me? What is stopping me? And this is a good way, I think, to foster a growth mindset. So these are some examples about how to discover, in some way, a fixed mindset and trying to foster a growth mindset. Some students say, I'm not good at mathematics, or not good at coding, building, drawing. I never play with Lego. Then my answer: believe that you can, and we will help you. I think this is important. The belief that you can. Sometimes when they didn't get the result at the first attempt, the guilt is the robot. The robot is bad. And then I like to say, no, we have to be patient, persistent, and any problem is an opportunity for you to grow and learn. Why is it not working? Why? Sometimes it's impossible. I give up. Okay, try another strategy. Ask for help. Let's do it in another way. Let's think how we can do it better. What is not working? Our solution maybe it's something wrong with a cable. oh, I don't want to make my own design. Please give us instructions. This is very typical when a student tends to perfectionism. They don't want to, they feel insecure maybe, and they want to have instructions how to do. And I say, you probably will find a better solution than I would. Sometimes people say, oh, I will never use robotics in my life. I say, very good. But this is a very good activity to achieve great problem-solving skills. What you're learning here is to solve problems, and that will be very useful, not only here at school, but later in life. Another position, I'm not as smart as my friends. Okay, discuss your solutions together, learn from them. I'm not sure if it will work. I feel insecure. That is this how to say, this fear to try something new. And I think it's so important that your effort and attempts, their solutions are wonderful because you are learning when you are trying. So this focus that we are trying is not so important if the robot at the end of the activity is working as we would like it to work. But the important thing is that during the whole process, we were trying to learn something new. So that's shortly my presentation. Thank you for the attention. Thanks for trying.
Thank you very much. That's really inspiring. And thank you that you also mentioned Carol Dweck, which is the mother of the growth mindset, fixed mindset approach. There is a question for you from by Catalina. She is interested. So she congratulates you because you teach robotics to such a young students, and she's interested whether for them this is optional or they all have to study robotics in your case.
In our school, it's compulsory in first and second grade, and it's compulsory also in sixth grade. And then for other students, then we have it as an activity after school. But in first, second, and sixth, we spend a lot of time. It's not only robotics; it's a lot of coding, learning to use computers at the same time. So learning this logical thinking, computational thinking. But it's amazing. I think it's very good.
Thank you very much. Dana is sending you one message. Maybe you can create an Erasmus Plus project together, whether you are both interested. You can see the comment here. So Dana wants to create a robust city for the special persons and situations. She would like you, if you are interested in making a project, to write her. I'm sending you the comment here. And also the others are saying congratulations for the activities with the children, and thank you for all the tips. Really nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next one presentation. So here I welcome also Denisa. Denisa, where you are? Just a second. I have to find her here. Okay. Welcome. Also, Denisa, she has a presentation on growth mindset, a key asset to be discovered in narrative texts. So I am looking forward also to your ideas, and dear teachers, welcome for all the questions that you have. Yeah.
Hello, and thank you, Blanca. Let's start sharing screen and hope it's working. I hope you see my presentation now. And
Yes.
Welcome to my presentation on growth mindset, which I called a key asset to be discovered in narrative texts. I loved very much this image. I found the flower, a colorful flower, because everything in life is colorful. And I chose some features of growth mindset, of course, from Carol Dweck's book, Mindset. And I started with a quote of Viktor Frankl's book also. Maybe you know this quote, you're familiar with it. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. And I think it's the key idea of growth mindset. It's about flexibility and dealing with new situations, adapting, adjusting, in order to get a better future, to build a better future for all of us. For each feature of mindset, I thought of some narrative texts, and you can see all of them here and in the next slides. And I thought that mindset is a flower, and if mindset is a flower, it grows and blossoms with every story we read, we meet, with every life lesson every day, because learning is a never-ending process. I thought about some activities from my experience for each of the features I mentioned earlier. To encourage children to embrace challenges, we used comics and short stories and fables, and the children had to rewrite the comic strip using only words, or the other way around, to design a comic strip based on the given text. There were some conditions they needed to respect, to leave unchanged, and there were other aspects they were allowed to change. And I thought this is a very useful exercise for them, because in life there are some things we can change and the other things we cannot change, and recognize them and accept that is a key skill to develop a growth mindset. There are other ideas of the exercises here, but of course you may read them in the presentation on the group. The next aspect is persisting in the face of setbacks, and we found inspiration in fairy tales, in myth, in legends, and first steps were to identify what the main character does in order to achieve his goal, because we know main characters often faces a lot of difficulties and a lot of obstacles, but somehow in the end he reaches the goal he proposed. And there were also some exercises about rewriting parts of the text. And here are some critical thinking skills we trained, because children need also to evaluate situations and to compare and to decide whether a choice is a good one, or it may bring more difficulties than the problems they try to solve by making that decision. Comparing and explaining things is a good exercise for them, and there are some exercises they cannot do wrong. I mean, it's about expressing their point of view, their personal things, and they develop self-esteem and trust. A healthy approach is to see effort as the path to mastery. And I thought that connection with emotional intelligence here would be a good idea. We studied that in fairy tales, in novels, in biographies, and in some poetry, but the presentation is about narrative text. We identified the character's emotions. We draw the emotions line, which is a timeline, but with emotions instead of moments. And it was very interesting to explain how the character changed its state of mind from, I don't know, sadness to trust, or from trust to disillusion, and so on. And then we made a little step further, and we draw the graphic of actions and emotions. We called it like this because it had to have a name. And we used the XY axis, thinking about how is the character feeling when, I don't know, something happens. How is Prince Charming feeling when he meets the dragon, or something like this. And it was very interesting to see the change in emotions and correlate it with the change of action, because this is what it happens to us every day. What changes in the environment changes our feelings, and maybe it's good for us to become conscious of this and I don't know, develop skills to manage it. The next slide is about learning from criticism, and is not only about feedback, but also about reflexiveness. We analyzed characters here, and the activities, I think, were quite creative, not only reflexive. And the most important ones were writing letters. The children wrote letters to the main character or to their favorite one. The favorite character they chose wasn't always the main character. And the children gave him pieces of advice or evaluated what the character decided to do in certain circumstances. And the other way around, the character wrote a letter to the children. This was quite complicated because it was somehow a double transformation. The children had to walk in the character's shoes and then see themselves from outside, and it's quite difficult. But from our 13, 14 years student, it worked very, very nice. The next one is finding lessons and inspiration in the success of others, because we're not living alone, we're not working alone, and we are surrounded by people like characters are surrounded by other characters. We worked on all kinds of novels because children have different tastes and different interests in reading, and it's a good thing to be like this. And it was mainly about rewriting or writing dialogues between characters, analyzing again situations, circumstances, conflicts, problems, difficulties, and so on. The idea was to find inspiration in the solutions the characters found to their problems, and somehow trying to transfer the ideas or the skills or the steps the characters took to our life. To make long story short, and here I'm going to show you a little something. It's another Padlet, and it's the Padlet we built to keep books work with, post here when they finish reading a book with a little presentation, I would say. So we have a source of inspiration, a permanent library, I would say, to find ideas and new interesting books to read. And the conclusions I wrote here don't belong to me. They are my children's conclusions. If Prince Charming can kill dragons, we can change a bad day mood. Or if Malala can fight for every girl in the world, we can surely speak up for ourselves when no one else does. If August can make friends, we can accept the new colleague or the new teacher in our life, or moving to a new town, they added later. If Cinderella can forgive her sisters and stepmother, we can give a hand to the one that made fun of us the other day. It was about connection with cyberbullying and bullying preventing activity. If Harry Potter can face so many forces of darkness, we can manage the test or the presentation of tomorrow. If Ulysses can finally reach Ithaca after so many years wandering on the sea, we can patiently adjust our plans to achieve our goals, and so on. And I'm sure you recognized the characters and appreciate the connections children did. The most important and the most beautiful idea, they said, was that every story is a possible version of our life, and I really believe that. And I continue that we might find something interesting and something of ourselves in each character and each story we read. So narrative texts give us the opportunity to think about and find solution without having to face or to live the real difficulties, the real problems, and finally we can become the heroes in our lives. So this is where narratives step into the growth mindset odyssey. It's like playing and really playing reality, and develop skills for growth mindset every day with every little step, every little stage we pass. And my last slide is the message to you. May you have a growth mindset, make the right decision, and choose your own way to be the hero in the story of your life. Thank you very much.
Wow, I really like the last slide about different, different stories that are connected with stories, but are actually can be a story of our life. thank you very much, and also all the participants congratulates you. Thank you, really. And I would like to show once again a comment of one of the participants about the brains. Oh, but I cannot. Aha, this one. So, Doinita, really thank you for this. New research shows that the brain is more like a muscle. It changes and becomes stronger when you use it, and scientists have been able to show how the brain grows and becomes stronger as you learn. Really important message for all of us teachers. Okay, I have to remove this screen now because okay, can you, Denisa, please stop sharing? Okay, that's right. Yeah. I don't see any questions so far. If there will be later, I will of course ask. But yeah, many congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then next, I invite Yasminka.
Hi again.
Welcome again. Yasminka also had an inspiring presentation for us entitled Growth Mindset and Creativity Development. I'm looking forward.
Thank you. Just a second, I'm sharing my screen. Yeah.
Is there something wrong? I can share it if you want. I have your presentation and I can share for you if there is something wrong with your computer. Yasminka? I think there is something. Maybe she doesn't. Yasminka, do you hear us? I think she doesn't hear. So then I will go on phone with her. In the meantime, then I suggest that we give our word to Elena. So Elena, where are you? Here. Christina, I'm sorry that I will have to kick you out of the studio because there is a limitation of 10 people. But I invite you to join us later if you will have time. So thank you once again. Okay, so Elena.
I am here.
Yes, you are here. All right.
I have a problem with my camera, but I think I can handle with a share screen. Let's see.
Okay, let's see your screen sharing. So Elena Bunero has a presentation for us on resilience in secondary school.
Okay, so resilience in time of pandemic. How can idea came for? It was last year in February or March.
Elena, just a second. Can you please present the presentation? Because now we see all the slides you have.
Okay, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Now, slideshow, start. Stop. Just 1 second. This is okay?
Just a second. I don't see your presentation anymore. Maybe
I will do it again.
Again, yeah.
I don't know if they just share screen.
If you want, I can share the.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Then I will share your presentation. Resilience in the times of pandemic. Just a second. Thank you all the teachers for your patience. And okay, and you will tell me when to move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So this idea came in last year in February or March when our school was closed and we start to do online. In that moment, I try to think how the students see the change in their life. And because they stay at home and they don't go in the daily routine, I try to think how can keep our mind awake. And came this idea about resilience. How can we go on? Can you move at the first slide, please?
Yes.
Like anything was new. Online schooling for some students was rejected or seen as something negative, and because we need to continue our life at home, and it is important to keep our mind awake. Came the idea to moving on. I try to read some things about resilience and try to think how can I apply this program in school at children from primary school and secondary school. And came in my mind something about nature because they start to think why we are at home and the springtime it's outside, and came four things in my mind. And can you move at the next one? Resilience is the ability to deal with everything that life throws on me and to breathe more and more and to be more and more standard. Resilience is the process, the capacity or result of successful adaptation in situations where challenge in certain circumstances have been overcome. And from this idea, next slide. Came this program with the four sessions. The first session was the tree of expectation with the message of encouragement for another people. Second session was my resilient character. Third session is my superpower, and the fourth session it's what can I do to become resilient. When I think of this program, I think to finish with some idea to go on and to move the process from day to day and to grow from day to day in our positivity. And the next session, the next link. Can you? Okay. The first session was a message of encouragement for colleagues, for friends, a message that will help others to cope with this state of isolation. At the beginning, I tried to explain that maybe they can give encouragement from one to another, but children, because they are creative and they say, why can we write something to our parents? Can we write something to our specialists, to doctors, to firefighters, to SMURD, or can we write something to other people? And I say, okay, let's write a message from other people and to connect people one to one. And the tree of expectation, the next slide. Because our children was our children in when I speak with them, they say that they have some message in English and they cannot translate those messages in English. And I say, okay, let's say some message in English. And I left also for the presentation some message in English. One of them with it's sometime you will now know the value of the this moment until become a moment where we are in this together. We shouldn't give up because we are here. We can go on. Trust come from our parents. Any beginning have also at the end. If you want to go on, you need to say things positive and to do things positive even if you are at home. Also another child say that our life is like a rainbow, and we can choose a color in each day, and we can do something different in each day, even if we are at home. And if we are at home, we can do something different, and we can build resilience in each day. This was the first session, and the next slide, it's about resilient character, and they need to write down a piece of paper a story about resilience. I choose I choose to left them to choose because some of them want to say about books, some of them want to say something about movie, and also some of them choose to say something about their life. But what they choose, what was the main character was about books. And the next slide, it's about books. They said something about Naruto, also Warrior Cats, and Mara and the Cat. And they also choose to draw something in some programs, and in this moment when they draw, they don't want to speak about the main character. They speak also about each one. And what I like, it was that they say at the end that it is something they are the same with their life. And the next was about my superpower, and they say about quality that help them to develop and to have a state of well-being. And my superpower was about energy, was about also about resilience, and can you move on the next slide, please? Music. And one of them said that one of superpower is also sleeping, because we need to charge our battery. Friendship was another superpower, and some of them said that said something about light. That light is a fast way to become more resilient in each day. And the next slide, it's what can I do to become resilient. And they say the exercise was what say in their mind when they want to be encouraged, or when they turn to when they feel they need to be encouraged. They also talk about patience, painting, require help from parents, friends. And at the end, they say something that they have a motto in their mind, and they put their motto on the mirror, and from day to day go on that mirror and read those sentences, and that help to go on in each day. And the last slide. Resilience is a bet on the future. It's not a promise, but not a certainty. But it's also a thing. It's a tool that we develop in each day. Thank you. And I'm sorry because I have some emotion.
Absolutely, no problem. We got the message, and thank you very much for that. Also, inspiring presentation, because we again get some good teaching ideas, and also For instance, here Flori is saying, very interesting, I congratulate. I really needed some examples of good practice. I agree with her. Thank you very much. Yes, we move now to the next one. Karin Helmersson from Sweden. I really thank you, because I see that you helped me to moderate the chat today. Today I'm really alone in front of the screen, because our Monica has different other tasks to do. So it's really nice to have help here. I hope that Yasminka is with us today now.
And I hope Google Chrome will not freeze again.
Yeah, it happens, it's like that. Whenever you need the ICT, sometimes.
And that happens to ICT teacher.
Yeah, of course.
I will try to share again, and if it will be broken again and frozen, then in the next then will you share?
Then I will share. Yeah, of course, no problem.
I will try it now, and I hope Google Chrome will not frozen again.
Yeah. So Yasminka, her title is once again Growth Mindset and Creativity Development. And thank you very much.
It looks like everything is okay now. So today I'm going to present to you how I applied growth mindset methods to encourage creativity development. What will I present here is based on three-ring conception of giftedness by Joseph Renzulli. And if student has above average ability, task commitment, and creativity, then we can say student possess giftedness. In my work, I often apply some methods for creativity encouragements. First is PBL. I think Fernando has already talked something about this, but in his case, it was something's crazy happening. It was about project-based learning. Here is problem-based learning. I start all my workshops with presenting problems, with asking questions. So here PBL is problem-based learning. Students explore problem, created, and they presented their own solution. Second is I forced 4C skills for 21st century. And third is, of course, growth mindset. I try to raise growth mindset at my students, and most easiest way here is to ask questions. What else? What else can you change? What else can you add? What else can be improved? And here I notice how powerful word yet is. But what I notice is that high achievers and gifted underachievements may feel stuck in one or more areas of development. So it's important to find out in which area and why the student is stuck, so that teacher can help him with the goal of further development and progress. My tip will be never do for learners what they can do themselves or for themselves. But of course, it's easier to give students a solution and they just reproduce it. But in that way, students cannot reach their full potential. It's easier to point on all their mistakes. But in that case, students start to be less confident and introvert. Positive supervision is not about problem analysis. It's about goal analysis. Positive supervision does not have to be built from scratch. This way, positive supervision is applied to encourage and support students. And this is also a way to force growth mindset too. During student mentoring, I always try to adhere to 4 pillars of positive supervision: goal formulation, finding competences, working on progress and further progress, and reflection. During workshops and conversation, I always keep on mind to tell students what they are doing right, to affirm and empower them. But firstly, I try to listen to them and have relationships with my students based on mutual respect. So now you can ask yourself a question: is the growth mindset and the positive supervision different or same? Questions are almost same. Active listening is very important here. Teacher must encourage students to self-evaluate their work and activities, and after that self-evaluation, teachers must repeat briefly what students said and highlight the positive aspects of their review. And of course, it's not good to ignore what may not be best done. But for these shortcomings that the students themselves have noticed, just ask questions of positive supervision. What went right? Even just a little bit. How was this useful for you? What could you do differently next time? And what else? The goal is not to tell the student what is good or not good in his work, but the goal is to encourage the students to conduct quality and critical self-evaluation. In this way, the student discovers his own strengths and weaknesses and cannot feel bad about any criticism he would receive from other students or even teachers. And that's why I think positive supervision is also the development of growth mindset. Growth mindset can be developed through issues of positive supervision. So let me now present you one series of workshops for 3 different groups. From my school, from Center of Excellence, and for one school from Romania. All activities were online because of pandemic. And first, students researched 17 sustainable development goals problems. Then they created games in which small robot Ozobot, you can see it here, is solving one selected problem. As you can see, robot Ozobot can be simply coded with markers. You can draw a line and color code, or you can use Ozoblockly application. On next 4 slide will be presented some student solutions, and you will see differences in progress from first and final game solution. So this is final game solution. Let us see examples. First example is quality education. This is first solution. Students made some questions, and according to answer, the next player must draw code, and then student change their solution to this. Keep in mind, my students were only 9-10 years old, so don't expect perfect problem solutions and perfect games. But for me, and for 20 hours for each workshop, I think solutions are more than perfect. Second example is sustainable cities and communities. First solution, questions, and final solution. Third is life below water. First solution, some questions, possible answers, and final solution. And the last example will be affordable and clean energy. Here is first solution, questions, and final solution. During all my workshops, my goal was to prove if creativity was developed because of positive supervision and forcing growth mindset. Therefore, 2 scientifically based and designed questionnaires were conducted. First is one questionnaire from Robert Epstein Creativity Competences Inventory for Individuals. It has around 30 questions. You can find it on that web page. And the results show that for whole group, all 4 skills needed to express creativity has increased, and total for whole group is around 15%. Second questionnaire was CSDS, created by David Cropley, Creative Solution Diagnosis Scale. I used CSDS rubric app, and it can be found on Google Store. That questionnaire measures 5 properties of creative work of student games through about 20 questions. Results here are shown for whole group, and you can see creativity increased for around 20%. During all those workshops, I came to some conclusions. So it's necessary to design a task that will be challenging, stimulating for the student, as well as to choose and apply appropriate teaching methods. Regardless of tasks, methods, and means, creativity is also affected by other environmental factors that can increase or decrease creativity. But important is that we know that every child is an individual and requires a different approach. I also notice that I ask students what questions less and less often, and I get answers faster and even in advance. Students independently began to present their ideas of what they could change or improve in their work and described what will be the next step in their work and creating a game. I watch students' reactions carefully and actively listen to their responses. So I noticed that precisely because of the application of positive supervision and growth mindset, students are investing more and more effort in their work, and their enthusiasm and self-confidence have increased. I believe that this is an indicator that the growth mindset has been successfully developed and improved in students. It's important to encourage students continuously. And to conclude, growth mindset and positive supervision can increase creativity, flexibility, empathy, and better relationships. So finally, I would like to ask you to fill out a short evaluation questionnaire. And if you have any questions, please feel free and contact me. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. You made both scientific and inspiring lessons, really. There is one question for you.
I will start sharing first, and I will put this link in
the chat. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let me stop sharing first.
So Flori has one question for you.
Okay, you're welcome.
What is the target group of your project?
Target group were only gifted students. According to Renzulli, there is around 15% students with high abilities. In Croatia, there is 4,000 students in 4th grade. So 15% is around 600. And if I wish to, then in the middle of Renzulli's tree ring, there is only 5% of that 15%. So this is, let's say, 300 students. And for my research, I had 30 students because this is enough for research to have some value with 95% of correctness.
And how old they are?
10 year.
10
Around
years.
10 year, 9-10 year.
Thank
Small
you.
children, and it was first. They saw that robot first time. They had attending ICT classes for first time, because in Croatia ICT classes are from this year in first 4 classes.
All
So
right.
it was first time they saw computers like something useful, and the first time they saw Autobots and so on.
Thank you very much. So Duinita is telling us being creative involves not only a cognitive process, but also sensitivity. And you showed us how. Thank you very much for your presentation. And now we are moving to reunion. With us are 2 wonderful teachers, Maud and Stephanie, who will present us their project entitled The Flame of Equality. And please stay with us, because they will show you one wonderful song that I played all the morning over and over, which was really great. So Stephanie, welcome, and welcome. Oh, where is Maud? Where is our Maud?
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Stephanie. I'm looking for Maud, but I don't see her. No, it's not here. Maybe she went somewhere.
Elle est là, elle me dit. Elle est là. She is here. Oh.
She's here.
Yes.
So here is Denisa and Tanya. I don't see her with my best will. So here is Denisa, Tanya. Right. Here you are. Welcome.
Hello.
So who will start sharing the presentation? Stephanie, I have it here. The Flame of Equality, a wonderful project in a spirit of a growth mindset also. In the meanwhile, I put a link to our growth mindset Padlet. In the growth mindset Padlet, you can see all different best practices that different teachers across Europe willingly uploaded on it. You can add your best practice also on the Padlet, and of course you can share it with other teachers as well. Right, so go ahead, action, Stephanie and Maud.
Okay, we are going to present you a project realized in your middle school to participate in a competition called The Flame of Equality. The Flame of Equality, first, we will explain you to the competition. After, we will introduce your middle school, and finally, we will describe the Black Lives Matter project.
This is the 6th edition of the competition, The Flame of Equality. This is a national competition open to students in elementary, middle, and high schools. Students are between 6 and 18 years old, but we work with a group of children of 13 years old. The topic, slave trade and slavery, crimes against humanity. Teachers are invited to reflect on and carry out a project on slavery with their students. The reflection can focus on the history of the slave trade and capture, on the lives of slaves and the struggles for abolition. Students can also show what remains of this history and expose the effects of slavery and its contemporary impacts.
The middle school, le collège Les Tamarins. The collège Les Tamarins is located in Saint-Pierre, in the south of Réunion Island, in the Indian Ocean. But it has 400 students, mostly from disadvantaged neighborhoods. The expertise of the teaching is based on a common desire to propose a true school of trust and personal development for each student. On the theme of the growth mindset, we have in this school a lot of innovating projects. In the artistic field, for example, orchestra at school, Maloya workshop, theatre club, and also sport, judo section, yoga, nature, and personal development, Spark, Resilience Project, mindfulness workshop, better living together.
Students and teachers were really lucky to win the first prize of our Academy of Réunion in the category middle school. But I want to add that the best prize is that during this project, students explore perseverance, creativity, collaboration, communication, empathy, and they learn to accept the difference between them and the feelings of the other. So it was really important to consider each student in this project and to help them to develop a growth mindset, because if they have not on the same wave, it's good for Réunion Island, we can work. It's not possible because a lot of them can come with bad feelings or bad vibes. It was a really good learning for that, for all of them, and I see that they progress a lot.
Now we show you some two project video.
Yes.
I share you, but I don't know if it's possible. So
I try. I can't share the video.
I can't.
You can?
Yes. You are ready?
Yes.
Lettre à un ancêtre. Cher Jonah, ma mère m'avait montré et je suis tombée sur une vieille photo en noir et blanc. On m'a même transmis que tu t'es fait capturer par les hommes de Maé de la Bourdonnais. Ils ont compté ta terrible traversée de Madagascar à l'île Bourbon. Ils disent que tu as été fouetté, battu, mal nourri et traité comme du bétail. Tu as été vendu à des colons blancs, chose que tu n'avais jamais vue. Tu as dû être déboussolé de ce qu'il venait de t'arriver. Par la suite, tu travaillais de l'aube jusqu'au coucher du soleil dans des plantations de canne.
Oh my God. You can continue, Stéphanie.
Ok.
Samaloya qui ça l'a fait ça. Oh my God. Samaloya qui ça l'a fait ça. Oh my God. Samaloya qui ça l'a fait ça. Oh my God. Takayom qui ça l'a fait ça. Oh my God. Takati qui ça l'a fait ça. Oh my God. Takipia qui ça l'a fait ça. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh
content d'avoir fait notre mission. En fin de compte, c'est de les transmettre. C'est que nous l'avons appris avec bonnes anciens, n'oublie pas.
Après Stéphanie. In this clip, we see Mary, one of the students. She reads a letter she wrote to an ancestor. Just a moment. In this letter, she recognizes what an ancestor who left Madagascar and became a slave on Réunion Island may have experienced. During this project, each student wrote a letter to an ancestor. They practiced meringue. It's a fight dance from Réunion Island. It's like capoeira. And they played maloya. It's the slave music of Réunion Island. Students express that practicing these arts allows them to connect with their ancestors. They had a lot of joy and pride to play meringue on maloya. So we can hear the next one, Stéphanie, please.
Okay.
M'y comprends pas, à quoi ça fait ça, l'os histoires là, tout ça m'y veut pas. M'y comprends pas, à quoi ça fait ça, l'os histoires là, il reviendra pas.
M'y comprends pas, à cause ça fait ça, l'os histoires là, tout ça m'y veut pas. M'y comprends pas, à cause ça fait ça, l'os histoires là, il reviendra pas. Zordi le bon capicon, Zordi le bon capicon, Zordi le bon capicon, il est là. Zordi le bon capicon, Zordi le bon capicon, Zordi le bon capicon, toujours là.
Le claronine, la couleur la peau, nous les bonnes noirs, pas bons animaux. Toute la renine, la couleur la peau, fond quel océan fait vol bons oiseaux.
Toute la renine, la couleur la peau, nous les bonnes noirs, pas bons animaux. Toute la renine, la couleur la peau, fond quel océan fait vol bons oiseaux. Zordi le bon capicon, Zordi le bon capicon, Zordi le bon capicon, nous les là. Zordi le bon capicon, Zordi le bon capicon, Zordi le bon capicon, toujours là.
Là, Stéphanie, c'est bon. It was a maloya. 7 students have written and composed this maloya. The song is in Creole. The song refers to the period of slavery. One of them sentence says, "You have dented the color of our skin. We are black, not animals." In order to promote the student song, we went to record it to the studio MDC. Recording was still a time of sharing, pleasure, and pride. Sure, it was a strong mindset growth project, and it was a real pleasure to support them. Thank you.
Wow. Like Juliana said, just amazing. It was magical. I really like the song and the whole spirit that you promote. Congratulations in everything that you do. Thank you very much. Also, Violeta is saying, thank you. As long as we live, learn, die, and do not know everything. Yes. And Gabriela, I like your idea. You build your project on a social and historical truth of your region. The creativity of your students is amazing. Yeah, I would also say that the creativity of teachers is amazing, and your leadership skills. Yes. This is actually the end of the Growth Mindset Conference. It's certainly this Pan-European Conference on Digital Education was the first time devoted to the growth mindset, but I can assure you that it's not the last time. There are so many best good practices that you have and you are willing to share with us. So I'm really grateful for all this. What's next? So tomorrow you can expect an email from me in which I will send you the recording of this conference and also the links with all the materials. So the links to the Pan-European Conference, that is a Facebook group. There are all the presentations there, and also this song from Reunion Island is there, published. I will also send you the Mentimeter results and the Padlet, of course, from which you can download everything that you believe is useful. I'm so happy that we can learn together. Thank you very much. And we already have the next date for the next conference, which is on 27th of May. So book your date, 27th of May. We meet again in another inspiring event. Kindly invited to apply as a presenter and as a listener. Everything is appreciated. Thank you very much. You are so wonderful, and please, you see there are so many teaching practices here. Please share them with your colleagues. You are coming from different schools, from different backgrounds, and we can learn together by sharing everything that we have. Thank you very much, and see you next time in May. Yeah. Bye. Okay. Have a good day.